What time is it right now? You probably know, down to the minute. Maybe you even glanced at a clock before clicking this video. Now imagine a version of you with absolutely no idea. Not just no clock, no concept, no yesterday, no tomorrow, no birthday, no deadline, no countdown. Just now, forever now. That's not a thought experiment about robots or aliens. That might be exactly how the first humans experienced reality. And what happened next, when that started to change, may be the single biggest shift in the history of our species. Try to picture it. You wake up because it's light. You're hungry, so you eat if there's food. You're tired, so you sleep when it's dark. There's no, I'll do that at 3 p.m. There's no Monday. There's no 2 weeks from now. There's just hungry or not hungry, light or dark, warm or cold, safe or not safe. Modern humans structure almost everything around abstract time. Meetings, anniversaries, retirement plans, bedtimes. But for hundreds of thousands of years, none of that existed. Time wasn't a grid you lived inside. It was something you felt through your body, through the sky, through the seasons. And here's the wild part. Some researchers think this wasn't a lesser way of experiencing life. It might have been, in some ways, more peaceful. No anxiety about the future, no regret about the past, just an enormous, continuous present. Sounds almost like what meditation teachers spend years trying to get back to. But here's the catch. Even without time as an idea, ancient humans were already tracking it. They just didn't know that's what they were doing. The moon was the first calendar. Its cycle, roughly 29.5 days, is so consistent and so visually obvious that early humans almost certainly noticed it long before they could explain it. Some researchers point to markings on ancient bones, like the Lobombo bone, which contains a series of notches that some believe tracked lunar cycles. If that's true, it means humans were counting days tens of thousands of years before writing existed, before agriculture, before permanent settlements. Not because they needed a calendar for meetings, but because the moon told them something useful. When certain animals migrated, when plants would fruit, when rivers would flood. Time wasn't abstract yet. It was a survival tool hidden inside the sky. So now here's the real what if. What if ancient humans never connected the dots between the moon cycle, the seasons, and their own survival? What if time as a concept simply never clicked? Without the ability to predict when the herds return, when the fruit ripens, or when the rains come, every single day becomes a gamble. You can't plan a hunt 3 days from now because 3 days from now doesn't exist as an idea. You can't say, meet me here when the moon is full, because there is no when. Groups couldn't coordinate across distances, couldn't plan for winter, couldn't pass down warnings like, this happens every few years, be ready. Without the concept of time, survival becomes purely reactive. You respond to what's happening right now, and only that. Every winter arrives as a surprise. Every drought feels unexpected. Every famine catches you unprepared. Some anthropologists argue this is one reason agriculture took so long to appear. Farming requires planting now for a harvest later, an act of faith in a future that, without a concept of time, barely exists. No later, no farming. No farming means no surplus. No surplus means no villages. No villages means no writing. No writing means no civilization. The entire chain begins with a simple idea. This will happen again. Here's something most people never think about. Language itself depends on time. Every sentence with a verb tense, I was hungry, I am hungry, I will hunt, requires a concept of past and future. Linguists have studied a small number of modern languages that have very limited ways of referring to anything outside direct experience or memory. If ancient humans developed language before developing a strong concept of extended time, that language might look radically different. No future tense, no tomorrow, no long stories about ancestors or descendants. And storytelling might be one of the most powerful tools humans ever created. It's how knowledge survives beyond a single lifetime. It's how a lesson learned by one person protects someone born 100 years later. Without time, every generation starts from zero. Every hard-won lesson dies with the person who learned it. That familiar image of an elder telling stories around a fire may be one of the most important inventions in human history, and it only works because people understand that there was a before and there will be an after. Now here's where it gets personal. Once humans fully grasped time, past, present, and future, something else came along for the ride. Anxiety, worry, regret, dread. Planning, yes, but also fear of things that haven't happened yet. Fear of death, fear of running out of time, fear of wasting it. Some researchers studying modern hunter-gatherer societies have noted that many live with a much looser relationship to clock time than industrialized cultures. They often focus more on the present moment and less on distant futures. So maybe the no concept of time version of humanity wasn't just less capable, maybe it was less burdened. We gained planning, farming, cities, medicine, technology, space travel, incredible achievements, but we also gained the ability to lie awake at 3 in the morning worrying about a meeting that hasn't happened yet, to feel behind in a race that exists mostly in our own minds. Time gave us civilization, but it also gave us the ticking clock inside our heads every single day. So what if ancient humans had no concept of time? We would probably still be living in small, scattered groups. No farming, no writing, no history books, no future plans, no anniversaries, but maybe no countdown clocks either. No deadlines, no constant anxiety about tomorrow. The truth is that time wasn't given to us. It was built, slowly, piece by piece, starting with someone noticing that the moon kept doing the same thing over and over again. And once that idea took hold, there was no going back. So the next time you glance at a clock, remember what you're really looking at. Not just glass and metal, but one of the strangest and most powerful ideas ever created by the human mind. The idea that this moment isn't the only one that exists.